All right, so it's excuse me. All right, so tonight here I'm going to be playing some NL10 on Ignition. I don't have too long to play tonight, about um, 45 minutes to an hour. So tables on Bet Online are pretty full tonight, and you know I only like to really table select on Bet Online, so it really wouldn't give me too much time to be able to play. So I'm gonna play some cash tables on Ignition. I'll play two tables of NL10. So let me get. So at least the nice thing here is, I mean, there is no table selecting, unfortunately. I mean, I can get off a table, obviously, if it's not going to be profitable, but normally I've been playing mostly zone on Ignition. Played some cash on here, though, today. So this is a table. I don't want to be at this table. I don't want to be at a table with only three people. If I can't get a solid table, um, then I'll just play zone. Let's try again. Which, zone. I don't mind zone. I actually enjoy zone too. Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna play zone, and which is fine. So we'll play no limit NL10 zone poker tonight. Uh, Good player pool of 50 plus people in here, so let's do it. Just for zone, I just do one table. I'll make it the whole screen just so it fills up the screen. It looks weird though when you fill up the screen on zone, that's for sure. And obviously I'll be happy to take. I don't like it, Phil. I'll make it a little bit. This is fine. So of course he had to raise the queen seven. Will be folded. And here we got our sound now. The sound is so weird with um, ignition as well, because it's like only if you've activated the screen do you actually get sound. This is gonna be a fold. And Jack 8 suited. Oops, let me just move my. Sometimes I look at my opening ranges to just take a look and see if something should be opening. Which here, yeah. So I'm gonna bump it up to 30. Actually, I missed the fact that there was a limp, or else I would have made it 40. But that's right. I'm gonna play this in position. Unfortunately, it's a multi-way pot, but I do have a flush draw at least. So I'm actually gonna check it here, and I do land the flush. And as long as nobody has a king or a. All right, so here I'm actually. Let's see. I'm making it a little bit more than half pot. Actually, I should make it even bigger. Make it 65 cents. See if we keep anybody in, and just hope that there isn't another club that comes out to possibly give somebody a queen or a king uh, flush. But they don't, so I'll take it down. And here I get Jack 10 from the button. I'll call a bet here, but here I get to raise it, so raise it up to 30. And when I get 3 bet here, I'm going to fold it. Obviously, there's no information on the opponent, and Jack 10 suited without a flush is not going to really do much for me. All right, here we get Ace Jack, so I'm going to bump this up to 40 with there being a limper in the under the gun. And I do get a call from the small blind. So we get heads up, and I have top pair with a decent kicker. So here I'm going to do about a three quarters, 2/3 pot bet, and I take that one down too. That becomes a spot where I'm just not really sure. Maybe I should have made it a smaller bet to keep him in, but it's not like it's a monster hand, so I mean it's definitely a hand that can be beat. I don't want to just be giving away opportunities for my opponents to just be able to draw better than me. So out of position, Queen 10 versus the button. Let me see. This is big blind versus the button. Queen 10 suited. All right. It's a pretty big bet though. I'm gonna call it though. Three-way pot kind of sucks. Right now I have the queen. I'm gonna check it over to number 4 over here. Let him bet and I can call. And I will definitely call the bet with top pair. And here 2 comes in. Once again, I'm going to check it to him, let him bet. He only has $3.10. If he shoves, I think I might actually call this. I just hope he doesn't have a better queen. And here I could even just shove him over the top. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And he folds it up. Didn't want to give him an opportunity to possibly better his hand on the river. It wasn't like I had some kind of great hand. And here, of course, I'll fold. And plus, he had just, no money left. No reason to give him a discount on the river. He's got to pay to see the river. Okay, so here with Ace Jack, I'm actually going to bump this up 4 times. So I'm going to make it $1.40 from the small blind. Just because I'm out of position. And we do get the call. And I do have a straight draw here. I'm going to bet this a little bit over half pot. And we do get the call now, so now we're in a little bit of a tough spot here. With the 2 out, I'm going to check it. And if he bets it here, I'm going to fold it. And he goes all in, shoves, so obviously we're going to be done with this hand here. And that was just a continuation bet, coming over the 3 bet. Obviously looking for a fold there. The King 9 from the small blind, I'm actually going to fold this up. Not knowing if I have any fold equity without there being any HUDs or anything like that in zone poker. And I'll be folding this to the raise. Usually from the small blind, I would do a 5x 3 bet. But I did choose to do a 4x 3 bet. I could probably do a 3x 3 bet. But I just prefer to 3 bet much larger from the small blind since I'm going to be starting out of position to give myself a lot of initiative. Obviously, in that case there, he must have hit the flop in some way, and that's why he called me. He could very well have also just had a better hand. Maybe he had pocket queens with the queen being out there. Very possible. But once he calls that, there's really no reason for me to continue with that hand. And we just take the loss and move on, which is fine. Queen 10 becomes an easy fold from the big blind. And King 9, of course, from middle position is a fold. And 7-2 is probably one of the worst hands you could possibly have. So here we get king king. King king, I will 3 bet 3x if the opportunity comes, which it doesn't. So here I'm just going to bump it up to 30 and see if somebody calls us. If they don't, and we'll just take the blinds. Jack 9 offsuit's going to be a fold from the small blind. And Queen 9 is a fold from under the gun. And King 4, of course, is not going to be played. Next up, sometimes you click the fold button and people fold so quick you don't even have the opportunity to really react. Ace 8 suited, I won't play except for versus small blind where I'll have position. So here I'm going to fold it up versus the button. I'd rather just play that hand in position post flop. Ace 3, if it folds to me, this I will raise up. It doesn't, so we'll fold it out. We'll get rid of it. And Ace 10, same thing. I'm not going to call with Ace 10 offsuit. Not a strong hand, but definitely something that I can raise when it does get folded to me. And we do get the call here. Jack 6, this is something I could definitely c-bet with it being such a dry board. And we get the call now. I do have a straight draw here, but I'll check, see if I can get the free card, and hopefully land a straight. And we do not, so if he bets, we'll fold. We have nothing to play with here. And he does bet, so I'm going to fold it up. Here we get pocket threes, and I can actually bet here in this spot. Just hopefully there's nobody raises. If somebody raises, I'm going to probably fold it. But you know, I want to have the threes to set mine, especially with only a 20-cent bet. But if he 3-bets here, I'm going to fold. He doesn't, and I do get the threes, so this is a perfect set mining situation. So he bets here. I'm just going to call the bet right now, even though it's very weak. I don't want to raise it and get rid of hands here at this point. It'd be interesting to see if he raises here. He doesn't. So you could have, there's really, obviously now you have a straight with anybody who has a 5, unfortunately. So this is going to be a good time for me to bet here. And I'll take it down. You know, unfortunately with it, you know, all of a sudden now a 5 makes a straight. I feel like I needed to bet there. King 4 is going to be a fold. And just to protect my set at that point. Alright, we'll fold obviously to the small blind raise. That 6-2 is going to be a fold. Here, get king queen from the button. This is one I'm going to call if there's a raise, but if not, see, obviously I'm going to raise it up. And I do get a call from the small blind. Let's see how the. All right, we go 3 ways. Unfortunately, not really what I wanted. Multi-way just kind of sucks, so we're gonna have to just check it here. Really no C betting opportunity, unfortunately. And if anybody bets, I'm gonna have to fold. And they do, so we're done with this hand. And now I get ace queen. So ace queen is a spot where I could definitely 3-bet. Don't have to, so we'll just bump it up to 30. And hopefully we don't. All right, so there you go. Didn't have to work. I didn't have time to even comment on it because they folded so fast. They were already ready to go. And queen 7 offsuit, I'm going to fold from the button. And of course 9-2 is going to be folded. And queen 3 be folded. Next up. Alright, so here we go with a7. 8-7, not 8-7. And once we get the bet there, we're out. But I wish zone DriveHUD's supposed to eventually be picking up zone hand histories, which would be great. I can't wait till that happens. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Here I'm going to bump this up to 40 cents with the limper. We get a call from the button, unfortunately, so we're going to be playing out of position. So hopefully these guys fold, so we're not playing multi-way. We'll see what happens. And we got to play multi-way. We don't really hit a great flop, so we're going to have to check. And this is pretty much a dead situation already. Any bet will fold. Hate those multi-way pots, damn it. They're the worst. Multi-way pots suck. I'm going to make it just last a little bit here, just to make it think like maybe I got something and make him nervous to bet. And he does check, and still nothing happens here. Who knows? Maybe my ace high can win. Unfortunately, I'm not in position to take control of this. He can bet and make us all fold, and he does. And it's a smart choice by him. Queen 2 will fold it up. 7-6 will fold. And 6-8 is going to be a fold. Here we get ace 2. Obviously, again, under the button. We'll have to fold it. And 2-3. Doesn't get any worse than that. And King Jack, kind of a crappy hand. Under the gun, King Jack offsuit. I'm going to fold it up. 4-6. Jack 9 is going to be a fold. Alright, so ace 9, I will raise this up. If it gets folded to me, it does not, so we'll have to fold it. And here I get ace queen. This is going to be a 3-bet. And now I'm not going to 3-bet it because of the fact that I'm going to have position on him. And I get a nice flop here. And I have no reason to raise this here at this point. I'm just going to call it. And now at this point, now I'm going to bet. And I'll bet 90 cents into him. I'm sure he's going to fold it. He does. He must have just did a standard C bet on me. So I didn't fold, and that was it. So here we get pocket aces. Here I'm going to 3-bet it 3x if he bets. He doesn't, so we'll just make it 30. Let's see what number 6 does here. Folds it. He thought about it. But no cigar. Queen 2's fold. And King 4 is a fold. Ace 3. And Queen 5. Bye-bye. 2-7. 7-2 again. How many times did we get 7-2, right? Actually, I guess it's only the second time I've gotten it. Haven't really had too many interesting situations happen yet in this tonight. And fold. 6-5 fold. An interesting spot with the Queen 10. I'm going to actually raise it up here. I know I'm going to be playing out of position. didn't really want a three-way pot, and this kind of sucks. Not what I was looking for, of course. Didn't expect a three-way pot. I hate three-way. I really hate multi-way pots. It puts you in such a tough spot. It really does. Because you can't play. You can't play when you're in a three-way pot. You can't play your game when you're in a three-way pot. If he folds, I'm gonna raise it up, but he doesn't. I fold this. All right, A2, fold it. When you're playing zone poker, you got to play such a basic game. There's really, you could bluff and stuff like that, but it's without really having any reads on your opponent, it's kind of difficult to do because you don't know if you're playing versus a maniac. You don't, a calling station. You don't know what kind of player you're playing versus in zone, which makes it more of a basic game, which isn't bad, you know. But I prefer reading, reads and stuff like that, HUDs and all that other stuff. But when you got a little bit of time to play, zone isn't terrible. So he puts in a 10-cent bet. I'm not going to continue with this. There's nothing here that's going to. Even if he had nothing, this really. I don't have anything either. No reason for me to put any money into the pot. I don't feel like donating. Alright, so Queen Jack here. I can bump it up. And alright, we'll take that. Seems like a lot of passive players here tonight. Except for the ones that keep on calling me. And I feel like I've gotten Jack 9 in the small blind like so many times already. Alright, here we get Ace Queen suited. This will be a 3-bet if it's raised. It's not, so just make it 30 cents. We'll see if we get any action. Hopefully from one of the blinds and not the button. And hopefully not multi-way. It's an interesting spot here. He could 3-bet. And if he does 3-bet, I'm going to call it because I'm going to be in position first and post flop. I don't mind that. Or he can just time out, which is what just happened. And 3-2. That's a real doozies. Queen 2. Well, he's a zone. I'll get rid of these hands real quick. Some of these crappy hands again. La-di-da, la-di-da. We wait. You just want to fold around to me. I'll be happy to move the King 4. Fold it. Don't bet. Don't check. Don't limp either. Alright, good. Let's sit here and play with the King 4. 7-5. Useless. Let's see. Queen 10 suited. Queen 10 suited. I will call it. I don't love calling it from the under the gun, but so it'll be a multi-way pot. It is a multi-way pot, and just not a good. Again, don't pair it. There's no point in staying in this hand. Even for the min bets, what am I looking to get here? If somebody has an ace, I need to get 2 spades in order to even stick in his hand. So what's the point? Even I get a king, get a 10, it's no point. Fold it. I forgot to top up now because I'm folding this hand. So other annoying thing about ignition is it doesn't top you up, so you have to do it manually every single time. Similar to how it is on Global Poker. Here, I'm going to bump it up to 30 cents. And I just can't get anybody to call my bets. And when they do, it's a multi-way pot. But that's alright. Definitely seems like a very nitty group here on Zone Poker NL10 tonight. That's for sure. I that everybody's getting dealt Drek, which is possible too. See the spots here where, obviously if I had HUD, I'd be able to determine whether I could just easily steal from my opponent, but when I have HUDs, I can steal from my opponents possibly, with not so great cards. I've stolen from opponents with 6-2 before, because they just fold everything. You don't know that in this. When you're playing zone poker or no HUDs, you don't know who you're playing. It's impossible to know if you're in a stealing situation. Which is why I still always prefer bet online to ignition. All right, here I can bump this up. But yeah, when you're in a time constraint like tonight, zone poker works out well. To get even just to get some hands in. All right, we get the call from the button, unfortunately, and unfortunately we are in a three-way pot, but we do have a flush draw, but we'll check it over to Mr. $66 over here. Guess he's been playing for a while, and I can really fold to any bet here at this point. He's in the position of power at that point where he can bet and probably get us both to fold. He doesn't. I get the flush. That was his mistake. So now, obviously, he bets 95. I'm just going to call this bet because he could easily have a flush that's better than mine. So if he has an ace something, then it's definitely possible. So we'll just call it, and hopefully that we have the best flush. And he didn't even have a flush, so we take it down. Beautiful. Queen 2 will fold. And King 2 we can fold. King 2 actually I could have actually bet there, but I mean again, readless poker, tough play to make. But I could have. Here we get ace-8 from the small blind. This is actually one that I can continue through if he folds. Actually, I could really raise it though too. But I think I might want to continue through, and then I'll just call a raise if big blind raises it up. But then I gotta play. Now then I gotta play a multi-way pot. I don't want to play a multi-way pot. All right, let's just raise it up. We'll raise it to 40, being out of position. Maybe we get him to fold too. If not, at least we're in a heads-up pot, and I have the initiative. All right, so we took it. All right, right play. Continuing through, I don't think it would have made sense there because of the fact that I don't want to be in a multi-way pot. I'm going to try and avoid the multi-way pots as much as possible. Obviously, we're going to fold this when I give him the opportunity. I just don't like to click check fold because, it may not be a real, it may be a check. People could always fold around to you. Ace-3, obviously, gonna fold. And ace-2, same thing. 8-6 is a goner. And queen-6 is dead. You're dead to me, queen-6. You're dead to me. Oh, there you go. 9-2. Ooh, 4-2. The cards keep getting better and better, don't you notice? Jack-4. Some pretty crappy cards here. If everybody again wants to fold around to me, I'll be happy to take the 5 cents. But that doesn't happen, unfortunately, this time. Fold it up. 10-4, 10-4, 10-4, 10-4. Over and out. King-6. King-2. Wow. All these picture cards which is bottom direct, not even suited. It's a good thing about Zoom, no. We'll just move right on. Ace-2 suited from middle position is actually going to be a fold. If it was, obviously if I was in the cutoff of the button, I would have raised it up. But in that spot, obviously not. With so many people left to act, probably going to be out of position if the cutoff of the button call, not a spot I want to be in. because they could always have a better race. And I'm just trying to hopefully get a flush. Here we go. We're gonna play 8-2. Here we go. Multi-way. I don't think anything's gonna happen at 8-2, unless he checks that I get an 8 on the turn. It doesn't happen. Sometimes you see some strange stuff happen. If he checks and I get an 8, I can even get a 2 and win with 2s. Crazy things happen in these multi-way pots, especially when everybody's checking all over the place. But yeah, he could bet and just everybody folds. I just wanted to see. No, he doesn't fold. All right, Jack 3 suited is gonna be a fold. 8, 9, 9, 8. Whatever you want to call it. If I'm gonna play the hand forever. Oh God. The bad cards keep rolling in. Oy. Oy. What is this, Jack? What is this garbage? It's junk. It's all garbage over here. What are you giving me? There we go. Here we go. All right, let's see. We've got something to work with here. What we get to play it? Button bets, we 3-bet. All right. We're going to 3-bet. We'll bump it up $1.50. See how he wants to play this. He's got 779, so he can handle it. If he doesn't have anything great, he should not call. If he calls, we'll believe he at least has maybe a pocket pair, or he has aces. Not aces, but like at least an ace. If he 4-bets me, we can fold. He doesn't, and we'll just take it down. And that's the whole point of that. I'm out of position. I want to have the initiative. Pocket 10s, we can raise it up. We'll just take it. Uncontested. So everybody's like super nitty. King 10 is a fold in this spot. 9-8 suited, I can bump it up. I got 6-9-49 over here. I think it's, to be able to play this much at 6-9-49 is pretty impressive. All right, so I get top pair here. I really would love to just get a fold here. So I'm going to bet 55, and hopefully he folds on the. He calls it. Now we got a flush draw. I'm going to keep on betting in this spot. And now he folds. Because now he could be definitely worried that I have a flush. And there was no reason for me not to c-bet there. Because there was no reason for me not to double barrel there. If I don't double barrel, that's going to put the power in his court. He could bet, I could fold, because I could think he has a flush. So, obviously, the right play there, even with the flush draw being on the board, is to continue to bet, considering I still had at least top pair in that spot. This is a fold. Just trying to get in his head, get into my head, get into his head. A6, fold this up. 2-4, no good. And Queen 10, this is only a situation where I will, I raise it up, but I would not call a bet with Queen 10. Let's see if we get a call here. 3-bet, I'll fold, but we'll just take it uncontested. Thank you. I appreciate it muchly. Ace 4, this right here. Not something I would call a bet with, but definitely 3-bet. But we're given a pretty good price at 2.5 big blinds. But still, he's under the gun. This is not a good play. I'm going to fold it. Even with the good price, I'm outkicked by most aces. He definitely has a lot of aces in his range, plus has a lot of great hands playing under the gun. So, not something I want to mess around with. Just for the hope of getting enough flush, It could become very expensive trying to chase that nut flush, and unless I get enough flush on the river, on the flop, it's going to cost me money that I don't need to spend, potentially being outkicked because an ace looked nice. So fold. I'm actually going to bump this one up here and take it. Yeah, this I decided to do that because of the fact that it was even just connected cards, and he was short stacked. So I feel like that was a right opportunity to definitely go for a steal there. I didn't think he was going to really fight me on it, and if he did, I mean, at least I did have connected cards, not suited connectors, but at least connected cards. The twos, I will call the twos to set mine. Obviously, I'll raise it up if it gets folded to me. Which could very well happen. It did. Sorry, so now I'll definitely raise it up. And this I don't mind a multi-way pot because either I get my twos or I don't. If he checks me, that's great because now I can have another chance to get my two. Now at this point he bets, and you know there's no reason because the only reason I was even in this hand was to get a set. It didn't happen. Obviously, I had to raise it, of course. I'm not going to open limp. I don't want to open limp and then somebody else, raise, and then I have to be in that position. Oh, do I have to? I'm going to raise. Am I not going to raise? Let's see. This is a big blind versus middle position, and this is 10 jack suited. I wish he had bet a little bit smaller. Multi-way, I just don't want to play a multi-way pot, and I don't want to 3-bet it, so I'm going to fold it. I could have definitely 3-bet there, but, again, it's just not a great hand. It's like borderline, if I would want to even 3-bet that hand or not. And I don't want to be in a multi-way pot, so I just felt like it was. Plus, adding the fact that the original bet was 3.5 big blinds. There was a lot working against me. I feel like if I would have been involved in a hand, if it's going to put me in a tough spot unless I flop really well. And again, if I'm going to have to play a multi-way pot, I don't want to deal with that. So the only way for me not to play a multi-way pot is to 3-bet, and it's just not a hand I want to 3-bet. So here we got a guy who has $70. Do I really want to play the game of try and steal from him? Not really. I guess it's the same guy up here now, the $70. It must be the same guy that had like the 60 something, I assume. I mean, how many guys are floating around in NL10 with that kind of stack, right? I can't think many. Ace 10 from middle position. It's just not a great. It's just not a great hand. This is like the borderline Ace 9 offsuit. So I usually wait for cutoff to open up Ace 10 offsuit. I know it may seem a little bit nitty, but it's a hand that could just be easily beat by any other ace that somebody's going to call with. And maybe I could be wrong in that thinking. Is the other thing I hate about zone. The one thing I do hate about zone is the fact that you have to pay. You get stuck in the blinds. You have to pay so many blinds. It's out of proportion. All right, we get to play our ace king. This actually is a pretty good spot to c-bet here. Such a dry board. Definitely nothing I was afraid of, despite the fact I didn't hit the board at all. If he calls it, I could always just, at that point on the turn, play conservative, depending on what comes out. This 10-9 offsuit, I'm going to bet here. Now I'm not going to bet it. It's only I would bet this in a steal situation, but now that we have a limper here, I don't want to have to play, potentially a multi-way pot completely out of position with not a great hand. If we were suited, completely different story. If we were suited, I absolutely would have bet there. But with it not being suited, it's just not something I'm interested in doing. I'm trying to, playing zone and playing readless. I want to keep out of potentially sticky situations. Where I'm just, it's unclear what's going to have to actually happen, and that's a perfect situation where it's going to be unclear what's going to have to happen, and you know, they could both come along with me, and now I've just put more money into a pot in a multi-way pot with hand that I don't want out of position. Not something I want to do. Obviously, we're not playing this. All right, 9-10, of course, under the gun is a fold. See, I wish I knew like how many hands I was playing. It would be great to have that kind of information. And once Drive has it, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really awesome, actually. I can't wait for Drive HUD to have. And I thought it was supposed to be at the end of the week, but maybe they're still having trouble with it. Obviously with this bet here, we're folding. Yeah, but the problem is you get blinded to death in this stuff, which is really annoying. A few bets I'm gonna call because obviously now I can raise it up, which is my preferred action. I love to have to raise it up, and we'll see what happens here. What these guys plan to do? No, nobody. People haven't been aggressive. As I said, I was like, watch this guy number three, three bet me, but people have not been aggressive at these tables at all. This is actually I think my first time playing NL10 zone. Normally I've been playing NL5 zone. It's very different. NL5 zone people are just reckless because there are just so many fish at the table. But I mean, Ignition, I noticed even playing the cash games at NL10, there are a lot of fish. Definitely a lot more than Bet Online. Bet Online has a lot of regs playing at NL10. All right, here we get King 8. All right, so here we get Ace 10 suited. See, this is the Ace 10 I want to bet with in a middle position, unlike the other one. I don't know what the hell just happened. Cards got folded completely out of order here. All right, so here I get middle pair. Obviously, I can just bet this here. I want to bet pretty high, considering I would love a fold in this spot, and I get it just because I don't have the top pair. Tens, something. Queen can come out, king can come out, and I'm losing. So let's just get it. It's a good spot to c bet. I mean, obviously I made a hand, so you know, not something I would want to slow play when I have middle pair. Wait for another 4 minutes and then wrap it up. A little short session tonight. Tomorrow night will be a short session too. Trying to actually get some sleep before work tomorrow. Started late because Walking Dead was on tonight, and no buenos. And of course, if I have more time, I want at least 2 hours to play a good cash session with table selecting. At Bet Online. Since I do jump around to different tables, I only two table. I could do more than that. Just I don't play my best game when I four table. And for the video purposes, also it's rather two table as well. Give it more focus and make more wiser decisions. And read and more importantly, read the other players better. When I'm playing just two tables, I definitely can read the other players much better than when I have more tables going on. Make smarter decisions. Is this guy fold to c bets too much? Does this guy bet when check too? Is this a good spot for me to to all right? Anyway, out of position. I'm actually going to raise this up here to his limp. He calls it. And this is such a dry board. I'm definitely going to now c-bet this here. Pretty big. I'm actually going to go half pot c-bet. Actually bump it up one more. And he folds it up. And so the reason I did that was because I don't. I really, if I have just even a semi-good hand, I don't want to be checking heads up in the big blind. I prefer to put the pressure back on the limper to make them decide whether or not they want to stay. We know they limp; they don't have a great hand to begin with, and it's something. It just makes it easier considering I'm be playing out of position for me to take control, being out of position by at least becoming, being the person who initiates in that spot. And that's my whole point in raising as the big blind in a heads up pot. It makes a big difference because now I'm showing strength. Where if I check, I'm really not showing strength. I could have nothing, and he's not going to believe me if I bet. Ten-9 offsuit is going to be a fold. All right, so I'm going to set the next big blind, and this will be the whole session. Jack ace will be a fold. A short session, but we'll see how we did. It's difficult to know how I'm doing until after the session is over, and then I'll just compare my balance between the original balance. All right, so let's see. Let's see where I was before and after. All right, we'll check out of this. It was kind of uneventful. I don't think I've had many situations where many showdowns. All right, so 67.40. So let me just go 67.40. All right, so I was up a little bit. 67.40. $1.55. Hey, look, whatever. I'll take $1.55. I'll take up. I'm happy with it, no matter what. A winning session is a winning session. So, no matter how you look at it. So 67.40, and that's it. You know what? There really was not much action that happened in this particular session. It was mostly lots of people folding, and yeah, I mean, pretty much every time I bet, people folded, and it was super nitty, and that's fine. So, you know what? We'll take what we can get. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. And this is my poker journey. So we're having fun, and I'm enjoying the process. So, thank you.